Schultz lost it on TV and told this Democrat the evil plan to overthrow Trump. Democrats love wasting time and taxpayer money in a hell-bent attempt to bring down President Trump at all costs. But this really takes the cake. Congressional Democrats are banding together to put forward a bill that would create an oversight commission on presidential capacity. This commission would execute a medical examination of the president to determine whether the president is mentally or physically unable to discharge the powers and duties of the office. The commission would then decide if the president is impaired to the extent that the person lacks sufficient understanding or capacity to execute the powers and duties of the office of president. Knowing the Democrats, I'm sure it will be a very objective and fair evaluation. I have never heard of a more ridiculous display of obvious political theater. The congressmen are citing the 25th Amendment of the Constitution, which states that should the president be unable to conduct his duties in office, the vice president would take over. The only problem for them is that the vice president would have to sign off on the takeover, and we all know Vice President Pence would never do that. Despite this, nearly 24 congressmen are co-sponsoring the bill, including Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Dennis Kushnick, a former Democratic congressman, put his party on blast during an interview on Tuesday with Fox and Friends, saying that it's a political statement, not a medical statement. I think it's destroying the party as an effective opposition. He continued, people want political parties to be focused on America's economic needs, jobs, wages, health care, education, retirement, security, and peace. And they want American politicians to be conservative, not destructive. Amen to that. At least one Democrat has some sense. It is very frustrating that Democrats keep pulling these ridiculous stunts instead of actually trying to help the people of this country. Oh well, on the plus side, like Kushnick, I really don't think this method is going to win them any votes. Let's take a quick listen here.
Can't say it enough to happen the 4th of July. Well, more than 24 Democrats getting behind a new bill to declare President Trump mentally unfit for office, including disgraced former DNC chairwoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz. But their former Democratic colleague, our next guest, disagrees, saying moves like this are destroying the party.
Exactly.
Former Democratic congressman and 2008 presidential candidate and Fox News contributor, Dennis Kucinich. Happy 4th of July, sir. We appreciate you coming on the program this morning. And you've heard about this bill.
Happy Independence Day, America.
Happy Independence Day, an even better way to say it. So this bill it would propose that the president could be removed from office for being mentally unfit. The vice president would have to sign off. It's not going to happen, but Democrats are trying to make a statement. Is it helping them or hurting them?
Hurting them.
Well, it's a political statement, not a medical statement, and I think it's destroying the party as an effective opposition. People want political parties to be focused on America's economic needs, on jobs, wages, healthcare, education, retirement security, and peace.
Correct.
And they want American politicians to be constructive, not destructive. And I think that, what's happening here is it's not good for the country.
Mr. Congressman, you're a progressive. Some of the members of this bill are progressives. Others are just straight Democrats. Who is pulling this party off the cliff? Who's making it less relevant? Why is it so focused on being rabid against this president as opposed to being the loyal opposition and presenting different ideas that the American people could ultimately choose?
I think there are some people in the party who are still having a great difficulty being able to
So who's unstable? So who's unstable, right?
Elections with their own politics, and we
So
have to
who's
realize
unstable?
the American people were the ones who judged President Trump. They decided he should be president in November 2016, and that's the way the process works. And so we must find common ground, and you can't establish common ground if you're slinging mud.
Sure.
Correct.
Oftentimes the tone gets set at the top as well. We've seen a couple of, frankly, rambling press conferences from Nancy Pelosi. Do you believe she should still be leading House Democrats?
Right.
Well, Nancy Pelosi is a friend of mine. I think that the Democrats, if they want new leadership, they first have to disconnect from the corporations who are funding the party so that they can be truly independent of those forces and then represent the American people. But as long as they're tied to various corporate interests, it really doesn't matter who the leader is, because it's the interests who are calling the shots.
But doesn't the leader set the tone? Doesn't the leader set the tone? You've lost so many elections. I understand she's a friend of yours, but might it be time to hang it up?
He twisted. He
that's not
went
for me to
off
say,
topic.
and I think that it's up to the Democratic caucus to make.
He went off topic. The guy was saying something else. Kushnick, whatever his name is, was saying something else about the parties who are behind them, and it winds up. Just take a listen here.
It's the interests who are calling the shots.
But doesn't the leader set the tone?
Right. The interests are who are calling the shots.
The leader set the tone. You've lost so many elections. I understand she's a friend of yours, but might it be
He
time
went
to hang it
back to
up?
Pelosi.
That's not for me to say, and I think that it's up to the Democratic caucus to make that call. They made that call, I might add, at the beginning of this Congress, and they decided that she should continue to be the leaders.
Yeah.
There needs to be in the party a continual debate about the needs of the American people.
We've got to leave it right there, unfortunately. As you said, happy Independence Day.
And also they're showing how they waste time. They waste time. What are the Democrats actually doing? Running around, wasting time, trying to get Trump out of office any means possible, not focusing on any issues. They're done for. Not only for next time the presidency, they're done for a long, long, long while, if they can ever recover. Let us know what you think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching. And I still can't understand how come they're not arrested. That's what I don't understand. Again, thank you for watching.